समाप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा समस्त जन कल्याण निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं,
माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं,
माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं।
माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं।
अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम,
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम,
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं।
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं,
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं,
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं।
गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं।
अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम,
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम,
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं,
राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम,
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं।
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की,
जय
सियावर रामचंद्र की।
जय।
I was talking about laziness that day, and Mohammed gave me a nice quote here. He says his scoutmaster used to tell him, "Good things commit to those who wait it." Good things commit to those who wait it, provided that he who wait it work it like hell while he waited. You just can't sit down and do not. Yeah, you have to do something. Very important. A wonderful quote. Okay, now we are seeing chapter 8. Let's do Dhyanam, one verse, and then we'll continue. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिरोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्नतां भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। हरि ओम्। Chapter 8 is about how to die properly. Dying properly in Hinduism means we die in such a way that we don't have to come back into this world to die again. Otherwise, we come back and die and die and die and die. Life is about dying actually. Because the moment we are born, we start dying. Every second that ticks away, we're heading towards the grave. When we emerge from the womb, we only have one destiny, and that is the tomb. From the womb to the tomb. Nobody has yet come out of life alive. Nobody has come out of this thing alive. So, this 8th chapter is about living in such a way that when we die perfectly. Arjuna asked Bhagavan, How am I to remember you at the time? Perfect dying perfectly means to remember the Lord. But we saw last night and the previous night how many things have to come together at the end. And if those things have to come together, like we are seeing, Om iti eka aksharam brahma vyaharan mamanusmaran, while dropping the body, remembering me, the Lord says, and chanting the syllable Om, or any name of God, like that. Then, prior to that, Sarvadvarani samyamya, yaste manasa smaran. Mano hridi, there's something else. Mano hridi nirudhya cha, bringing the mind in the heart. And murdhni adhaya atmanaha pranam, and bringing the prana in the head. Now all of those things require yogic practices while living. Otherwise in the end, imagine in the end, you don't do anything while living. In the end, now time to die. And somebody comes by your bed and says, okay, now bring all the prana in the head. Then you look, prana? What is prana? You see, what is prana? You'll not know. So while living, one has to make sure that one perfects all of these. And then, when we left it, that was number 14. Very, very nice verse. Ananyacheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashaha, who remembers me always and constantly. Satata means always, and nityashaha means constantly. What's the difference between always and constantly? Always means like every day, constantly means whole day. Otherwise, some people say like that, they talk that. But they sit down for 10 minutes in the morning and they do one japa mala, something like that. And then they tell me, Swamiji, I'm doing that for the last 20 years, But 10 minutes per day, that is not 20 years. You see, there's a difference, no? Doing that for the last 20 years means you've eaten for the last 20 years too, no? I've eaten for the last 20 years and I'm doing japa mala for the last 20 years. Do you same? No. This you're doing for 10 minutes. Have you eaten? Whole day. There's a big difference, isn't it? So Bhagavan has to put different words inside it. Bhagavan is like a lawyer. He has to cover every possibility because human beings are very good at finding loopholes. Very, very good at finding loopholes. One fellow in a deathbed in the hospital, he reading Bhagavad Gita. Deathbed, a lawyer. He reading Bhagavad Gita. His whole life he never read Gita. Now he's going to die in the hospital, now he's reading Bhagavad Gita in that bed. Next lawyer asking him, come to visit him. He said, what are you doing? He said, looking for loopholes in this Gita. Let me see now, by which way I could get off, Bhagavan cover everything, no loopholes are there. Satatam, yo, ananyacheta satatam. Yo mam smarati nityashaha. Two things I can say. Tasyaham sulabha partha. Oh partha, I am very easy to attain for such a person. Nitya yuktasya yoginaha. For those yogis for that yogi who is nitya yuktaha, all the time, with his mind zeroed in on me, from a very simple standpoint. Now we'll see number 15. We chanted already yesterday, but we'll chant again now. Very such nice verses, like all the other verses. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 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 Mamo Putya आप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गताः श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम 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 Mam upetya. Mam upetya means having reached me. See all the different terminologies and ideas which are there in the verse. Having reached me. This is called as moksha. Having reached Bhagavan. And it says, Punar Janma na apnuvanti mahatmanaha. Those great souls who can practice all of these things and die in the way in which we are talking about, they, having reached me, punarjanma na apnuvanti, they don't get a second birth. I mean, they don't take birth again. So now the idea of reincarnation is brought in there now. Because we take birth after birth. And there are many things that have to be dealt with that. Then, Mampita, some siddhim paramam gataha, those having attained the highest possible goal in life. Paramam gataha. Those who have reached the highest means merging with God. They don't get a second birth, punarjanma. And this punarjanma is, second birth is described in this Bhagavad Gita, and this is not the only place. It's several places in this Bhagavad Gita. This is how Bhagavan describes this birth. And if the Lord is describing births like this, that means it requires some great thought. How he describes it? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This life is dukkhalayam, the abode of sorrow. Abode of sorrow. And ashashvatam. Ashashvatam means temporary, transient, passing, ephemeral. Some people say that Bhagavad Gita, when it speaks like this, it is, very pessimistic. Man, it's depressing. Because it is tell that life is only dukkhalayam, and abode of sorrow only. Well, Gita is not optimistic or pessimistic. Please pay attention to that. Gita is realistic. Gita calls a spade a spade. Realistic. It tells as it is. One may accept, one may not accept. So alag baat hai. One may accept, but not alag accept. Now that is a different matter. But it's telling as it is. And a little bit of logic will see that that is absolutely true. Life is sorrow or life is joy? Any expression of joy by any human being, it's because that fellow is running away from sorrow. He cannot bear. See, like for example, everybody loves 2 days in February where they can run away from all the responsibilities and run away from work and run away from everything and run away from reality and take drugs and alcohol and everything and you escape everything. Why you want to escape something? Why a human being want to escape anything? Why people always look for holidays, long weekends? Tell, why? But if something is pleasant, and it brings joy, you will not want to escape. Anybody will want to escape? There is immediately you see. That means what? My 5 days a week, work week, 40 hours, that thing is pure unadulterated misery. Nobody wants to go. Even to drive there any morning, long line of traffic, everywhere, especially in this country. In other countries, winter now. Here traffic. There's snow and ice. One fellow in Canada, he used to work 11 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. 11 o'clock. So the boss asked, what happened? How you reach to work 11 o'clock? He said, well, the boss, when I was coming, there was a snowstorm. And when I walked 5 feet forward, the wind blew me back 4 feet backward. And every time I walked 5 feet, it blew me back 4 feet. The boss said, how did you ever get here then? He said, well, I turned around and I was going home. And I reached here. But little bit of analysis, just logical thinking will show that life is just what Bhagavan said, dukkha layam, means that I'm bored of sorrow. Everything about life is sorrow. And therefore, any act a person engages in, it is an act of running away from that sorrow and running to some source of joy. Some perceivable joy or some joy which he thinks he will get. All of you came here tonight also because of that. You came here because the alternative to coming here was sorrow. No, somebody said, no. I just come to show Dev seeing my face, Because he could say, he invite me and me I come. So I just come to show him my face. But that is exactly the thing. You're running away from the sorrow of having to face Dev Singh for not coming to for the Yajna. When you meet him next time on High Street, he could say, then you will know what to say. So to avoid that unpleasant experience, we came. Because in Trinidad, the talk is, if I don't go, how we go look? But so you don't want it to look bad, you see. Or there's maybe so many other reasons. Let me go there and I go, here, Swami, tell a few jokes, and then I go laugh a little bit. Why? Because at home, there's no laughing. Everybody face drop. So you run away from that sorrow and you come here, you go laugh a little bit. You see? You go hear some little Geeta, but there it is not there. It is always, invariably, the exchange of a less pleasant situation for a more pleasant situation or environment, isn't it? That is life. That means to say, if human beings are acting every moment, all action is based on this rationality only. Driving force behind action, to run away from some sorrow and run towards happiness. Unfortunately, the next word is ashashwatam. That even if he finds some little bit of happiness there where he goes, it is transient, temporary, ephemeral, it passes away. See the next word. This is how the Lord is describing. This is a very, very significant thing. This is how he's describing this sansar, this world, this life in which we live. This is the way it is described. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Any joy anybody gets in life, that thing is temporary, ephemeral. And not only that, it is worse than that also. See, Bhagavan is very generous, Any joy we get, that is temporary. At least you could say, at least I'll get some joy. It may be temporary, no problem, but I got it. I got some joy. That also the Lord is just granting out of his compassion. That joy comes mixed with great sorrow also. There is no joy in this world that comes unmixed with sorrow. That also is true. Either the sorrow comes immediately or the sorrow is lurking right behind the right behind the joy. What a thing. Kya baat hai? Welcome to Sansar. That is why the Rishis say, we don't want any future births. We'll merge with Bhagwan. And there are some people say, no, Swami, no problem. I will come back again. I had a good life. I'll come back a second time, third time, no problem. My life was good and all. We don't know if you'll come back as a human being. You come back as a centipede, a Kongori, a baboon. You'll come back as anything. A grasshopper or a lizard. No, you come back as something that you don't like. That generally that's what we come back as. We come back as something which we don't like. Black spider. The creepy type, you know. So, that those people who say, "Oh, I don't mind, I will come back." In the Shastras, there's no guarantee that you'll come back as a human being. And those who we don't like, and those things that we don't like, because our mind is on that all the time, we'll come back as that only. So he said, Punar Janma na apnuvanti Mahatmanaha. Mahatmano Mahatmanaha na apnuvanti. So, these great ones who are able to follow all the things that we have seen in the past few nights. Now, those of you who were not here in the past few nights, when you miss out. But those who are able to follow and practice, satatam, all the time, nityashaha, those people, they reach that supreme mamupetya. Now, this also, in our Shastras, reaching God, there are different types of mukti. We call it mukti. There are different types of mukti or moksha given in the Shastras. One I call as Salokya. We go to the same world as Bhagwan. You know, there are different worlds. This universe is vast, infinite. There are different worlds. So one will go to the same world where the Lord is living. Saket Lok, Vaikuntha Lok, Shiva Lok, Brahma Lok, whatever Lok. Lok means world. That is the first type of mukti. Not only that, the second type we call it a salokya, that we call as samipya. Not only that, we go there, but we go close to Bhagwan also. I mean, like how Jay and Vijay was there outside the door of Bhagwan. Jay and Vijay. So close. You can see the Lord. Samipya. Then the third type we call as sarupya. Not only we go there, but we have the same form of Bhagwan. We get all of his qualities and gunas and all of that sort of thing. Sarupya. That is why, you see, like for example, we say, if you see in Bhagavatam and you see in Ramayana also, at different points the Lord takes various forms, one form for each gopi. You remember that? So there are so many countless Krishnas. Because of people who have taken the same from the Lord only manifesting in various forms. In any case, Lord is manifesting as all things. Sarupya. And the last one is Sayujya, means merging, like how a drop of water merges with the ocean. A drop of water falls in the ocean, can anybody retrieve? Irretrievable it is. So we call it Sayujya. So Mamupetya means any one of them coming to me, any one of the four is meant. You see? So, those people, punarjanman, na apnuvanti, na vidyate. Na apnuvanti means they don't get a future birth. Now, this idea of reincarnation is there also. And many people say, no, I don't believe in reincarnation and this, and I only have one life to live and die is the end of that. No reincarnation. Well, human being has an intellect, and that intellect, if used and applied, unfettered, the idea of reincarnation will appeal to that intellect. If that intellect is not preconditioned and prejudiced by some previous type of thought, that intellect will accept reincarnation. If that intellect is prejudiced by some other mechanism, that intellect will not accept reincarnation. Because reincarnation is the most intellectually satisfying answer to a vast array of human questions. And for the one who really applies his intellect, that idea will satisfy that intellect thoroughly. But if you belong to some religion or some belief system or some cult or something where your religious leader tells you, don't believe that, and don't tell why, don't believe that, that means he has to that extent stultified the use of your intellect, because he has interjected with a belief system that prevents you from full usage of your intellect. And therefore you will not accept, you will not, because you're not allowing your intellect to think. And he will also give a whole set of logic to tell you why you should not believe it. Like one fellow came, he doesn't believe in this thing, and I'll just tell you how. He's a very educated man. When I'm talking, this man has what you call 2 postgraduate degrees. He came, so I asked him, you don't believe in reincarnation? No, in my religion we don't believe in reincarnation. Acha, theek hai. You don't believe. So, when 2 children are born simultaneously, one child is born in Buckingham Palace and one child is born in Claxton Bay dump. I'm asking exactly like this. One child is born in Buckingham Palace and one child is born in Claxton Bay dump, because there are people living in the dump there. And God is the one who creates human beings, right? On what basis does he send one to live in the dump and he sends one in Buckingham Palace? On what basis? Is it something arbitrary that the Lord decides arbitrarily? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Shut your mouth and go. Just like that. On what basis he does? So one can, the human intellect cannot accept an arbitrary decision by the Lord. Second, the human intellect also does not want to impute an absence of compassion from the Lord, or in the Lord, isn't it? That he has compassion for this one and no compassion for that one. He has to have compassion for all. You know what is this fellow's reply? Because his teacher has taught him that. Whoever is his leader or founder or whatever. It is not the fellow's fault, the child's fault. So he doesn't want to impute any fault to the child, and he doesn't want to impute any fault to the Lord. So who he imputes the fault to? The parents. He said, the parents' fault. Because this child born in the dump and that child born in no, of course, you can see right off that thing I'm making no logical sense. Because the next question I ask him, I say, you mean to say the parent did some bad karma, did some bad action, and the child paying for it? He said, yeah. I said, so you subscribe to the view that one person will do the crime and another one will do the time? He said, yeah. I said, well, yeah, we can't have any discussion anymore. Because, talk done, he talk had it done, because I talking about logic and you talking about belief. You understand? I'm speaking something logical. Because we see in nature, if I cut my hand, I get the pain, not you. In nature we see, and the all jurisprudence of all time in the history of human civilization has been that if one person do the crime, he had to do the time. Isn't it? Jurisprudence also follows a very natural law. The natural law is the one who is suffering he is the one who has done something to suffer for that. Tulsidaji writes about this thing. This is very important. I'm talking about the topic of reincarnation because many people say they don't believe in reincarnation. But I'm telling you, it is intellectually the most satisfying principle in this world. Tulsidaji writes about this thing, about this karma, which is tied inextricably to reincarnation. See this here. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. कर्म प्रधान विश्व करि राखा, जो जस करई वो तस फल पाखा। शुभ अरु अशुभ कर्म अनुहारी, ईश देहि फलु हृदय विचारी। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम। राम 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 Syavara Ramachandra ki jai. They like these two chaupais are there, and so many chaupais are there in the Ramayana where Tulsidaji talks about karma being the most important law in the universe. The law is jo jasa karai so tas phalu chakha. As we sow, so we reap. As I sow, so I reap. We're not talking about agriculture and Pridya Lasani. We're talking about karma. As I sow, so shall I reap. The second one says, Subha aru asubha karma anuhari isa dei phalu hridaya vichari. That Ishvara dispenses the results of our karma based on good and bad. If I do good karma, I get good result. I do bad karma, I get bad result. So now, if the child is born in the dump, it is not that Ishvara made an arbitrary decision. It is not that Ishvara, the Lord, has or lacks compassion. It is Ishvara only has at his disposal the karma which that jiva has done. And so that karma dictates that he has to be born in that type of environment. The karma is the jiva's karma, his own karma. Right? So then, the question which arises there now, if the jiva is now coming, when he did that karma, if he is now coming into the world as a child, when did he do the karma? Well, that necessitates a previous birth. It necessitates. Otherwise, if one doesn't accept this, one will get into a proliferation of inconsistencies and illogic. There are many people who wish to have the belief and forget the logic. ठीक है, यही है संसार. That is okay also, because Some people don't like to live by logic. There are many people who don't know what is logic also. In this world, all kind of logic, I tell you. One man telling the next man. He said, I bet you $100, I could prove to you that I'm not here. I bet you $100, I could prove to you I am not here. Here logic now, eh? That fellow said, what? You could prove to me you're not here? You're mad? I bet you. Prove. He gave X no. This fellow now say, answer me this question. Am I in New York? That man said, no. What do you mean if you're in New York? You're not in New York. Am I in Boston? No. Am I in Cincinnati? No. Oh, I am not in New York. I am not in Boston. I am not in Cincinnati. That means you say, I must be some other place, isn't it? The man say, yeah. See, I just told you, I am in some other place. I am not here. I just proved to you, I am in some other place. Now give him $100. That fellow said, since you're not here, I will give $100. You're not here. Huh? You shall just prove you're not here. Logic. As a human being, rationality is part of our inheritance, right? Heritage. We have to think logically and rationally, and don't let any belief system just stultify the operations of the intellect. Make it cease. So, the Punarjanma word which is here is, Punarjanma means rebirth. Punarjanma, another birth. Punaha Janma means another birth. So Bhagavan said that person will not have another birth. And the one who doesn't merge with him, or the one who doesn't reach him, then he will have another birth. And the throughout the Gita and Ramayana, this thing is there. The Praman is there. Praman means the authoritativeness comes from the Shastras, given by Shastras. So, the one, and the Shastras also, Gurudev took tirelessly all the time, continue telling, you don't have to believe anything we say, You have to just think. You have to just think. How come one child, I remember here, Rana Mohip, we were all in India together, and when he came back here, they got, started their family and all that kind of thing. Here, Chinmaya Mission started this, that. Then, pretty soon, a little boy was born there, in that house. Now he's a grown fellow. Man, that fellow, he's shorter than the tabla, and he played the tabla. That little boy. So Bhagavan smiled on that kid and didn't smile on other kids. That you will have to accept that if you don't accept reincarnation. And there are so many child prodigies known throughout the whole world. And there are so many countless cases of people remembering their past births and telling things. Documented cases. Then the only big question in all of this is, people are, Swamiji, but why Bhagavan did not allow me to remember my past birth? Why Bhagavan, he doesn't want me to remember my past birth? Thank God. We have to thank him for not letting us remember the past birth. Because you might remember in your past life, your spouse was your dog. And if you remember that your spouse was your dog, and the present spouse remembers I was the dog, and he was the master, or she was the master, if that type of memory comes, well, Ram, Nam, Satya, hai, I tell you, good thing Bhagavan doesn't allow us to remember that thing. Eh? Imagine, you've gone away, gone on a trip to Hawaii, I didn't feed the dog for 2 weeks. What could happen between the spouses in the house? So the Lord has chosen very wisely not to allow us to remember. Though, because of the unified universe in which we live, which is called the universe. Universe is one unified thing. The knowledge is there and it is accessible for those who want to access that. We can know all our births. Why engage in futile exercise? You cannot deal with one birth. You want to go back and... Many people want to go back and see what I was doing there and this and that. So, punarjanma, the one who comes to the Lord, punarjanma na vidyate na apnuvanti. Here it says, means that person doesn't get that future birth anytime again. Now, the next verse speaks about or ascertains rebirth or ensures rebirth for everybody unless the person realizes God or reaches God. This is, who is subject to rebirth? Everybody. That is the next verse. Next verse, see. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Abrahma Bhuvana Lokaha Punarjan Krishna Sharanam Abrahma Bhuvana Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna Mamuktetya tu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Brahma Bola Lokaha Punaravartino Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, Punaravartinaha, O Arjuna, that all beings in this world are subject to rebirth. All beings are subject to rebirth. From Brahmaji down to every last creature in every world. Subject to rebirth. And this is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Every being in every world, and there are countless worlds, from Brahmaji, who is the one who is responsible for manifesting this universe, down to every last creature of every world, punaravartinaha, all of them are subject to rebirth. Subject to coming and, punaravartinaha means subject to coming and going, coming and going. Brahmaji also, Indra, Vayu, Agni, all of them, they come and go. Tetam bhuktva svargalokam vishalam kshine punyam martyalokam vishanti. In the next chapter he will tell. They go to this different world and all, and they enjoy all the pleasures of those worlds because they did good karma here. And they go to different worlds and enjoy there. But after the enjoyment is over, you go shopping in Miami and your money done. Then what you go do? Back to Trini. So you go with all good karmas to various worlds. There are so many countless worlds. So, but all the good karma is over. Kshine punya martyalokam vishanti. Again, all the punya exhausted. Punya means good karma. Kshine. In the exhaustion of all the good karmas, martyalokam vishanti means come back to this. And we will call it martyaloka in 9th chapter. Here they call it dukkhalayam. Dukkhayo naya evate. previously. How many duk, duk, duk? And here, death, 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 duk, 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 sorrow, sorrow, so death, death, death. Throughout this Gita. So we come back here. That's why as soon as we land here, wah, everybody crying. You know. God, you mean I come back here again? And if you don't cry, well, we have something to make you cry. Only when you cry, you're okay. Correct? How to start your life? Only when you cry, you're okay. Maybe there's a sign. You should cry a little more. Maybe we might feel okay. And people cry, maybe they feel okay. But this is the word, dukkham. Sarvam dukkham, dukkham, sarvam kshanikam, kshanikam, Buddha says in Dhammapad. Means everything, only sorrow, 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 temporary, temporary, temporary. And that is temporariness brings sorrow. Ashashvatam and dukkhalayam, just now she just saw, and ashashvatam, they are connected in that way. Temporariness brings the sorrow. Temporariness brings sorrow how? Because something is temporary, it is ephemeral, passing. The nature of the world is that thing which we do not want to go, it goes. And that thing which we want to go never goes. I mean, that goes by its own pace and own rule. We want it to go fast, but it doesn't go. And the thing which that we don't want to go, that goes away fast. I mean, I don't want my eyesight to go, but what to tell? It goes. I used to see so good. No. No, he's seen double. One cricketer went by a doctor and he said, Doc, I've seen double. When that fella bowling, I've seen two ball. When the bowler bowling and I had to bat, I seen two ball. And it so happened that I fired the wrong ball and now I get a third ball. You know. You have a bump on your head now. Third ball. What to say? We don't want the eyesight to go, but it goes. All the faculties, they go one by one. We don't. Most people don't want their youthfulness to go away. Everybody want to remain young, and therefore they go and find all sorts of nice creams and cocoa butter and what is it called? Botox. Okay, good. You see, I have a few things that I had to learn yet. People have all kind of things they try to find, you see? He doesn't want, but the youthfulness goes away. All the faculty, you see? That is called ashashvatam. It is ephemeral and passing. And that going away causes sorrow. Dukkhalayam. So here now he says, all are subject to this. From Brahmaji all the way down. Pilika, another place it says Brahmaji to a little ant. Brahma, stamba pariyantam, to a little stump and anything. So, whether we, and the other thing about that, whether we like it or not. One more thing about belief in reincarnation, You don't have to believe for anything to work on you, The laws of the universe is such that you don't have to believe the law for the law to work on you. You may not believe, no problem. What is there? Believing in any law has nothing to do with whether the law will operate on you or not. If you don't believe me, you go from the roof there and jump. So I don't believe in gravity. I don't believe in gravity. If anybody say, I do not believe in gravity, what all is gravity business? Nonsense. And then I say, I'll show you. And then he climbs up there and jumps. So your belief in gravity has nothing to do with whether gravity will operate on you or not, isn't it? The laws operate on us all the same. So laws are like that. Therefore, one fellow went to a Mahatma and he told a Mahatma, I do not believe in reincarnation. That Mahatma said, no problem, next life you will believe. Next life you will, because whether you believe or not, you will be born there. And let me tell you, every civilization on this earth at one time believed in reincarnation. What you have is some people who come up with some politically expedient point of view stultify the intellect of certain civilizations. That is all. But all civilizations used to believe. So here Bhagavan said, everybody is subject. A Brahma Bola Lokaha Punaravartinaha. O Arjuna, every single soul is subject to reincarnation. Except who? Mamupetya Punarjanma. O Kaunteya na vidyate. That person who comes to me, who merges with me, that is the only person who is not born in this world again. And don't try to come as a spiritual aspirant, a spiritual seeker, don't try to come up with any such argumentation. No, my life is good, I don't mind taking birth again, and this and that and the other thing. Let me tell you, even from an ordinary standpoint, if you think, you just think, you had to go to school when you were small, right? When you were little like this, you had to go to school. Which child doesn't want to go to school? The child come in school there, why we go see? The child balling for their life, they don't want to stay there. So we have to go through that next round again. The child balling for their day, and what you talk about child? The mother and father balling too. We tired see that. Parents so attached to the children. We tell the parents, you have to drop the child and leave. You're not allowed to stay in school. They're hiding behind the fig tree and watching. So as a child, when you go to school like this, Munna gone there, you don't want to go kicking and coughing and bawling and screaming and all kind of thing and pulling clothes and Munna, I want to go to school. But you take Munna and stay. And you leave him there after 2-3 days and all, he get used to, he make up some friend and thing in school there. He make some friend and all, he stay. Now he start to play, he stayed in school there. Well, different issues will come up one after the next. Somebody beat up Munna, take away lunch. Because he has some other boisterous children in the class. Beat him up, take away lunch and thing. Not only that, go and take sand and thing and pushing him out. You think I want to go through all that? Nobody pushed sand in my mouth, but I could imagine what happened because I've seen so many things happen. And all kind of karma we have to pay for. See how much karma we have to pay for. In primary school, they used to give some biscuits like this to underprivileged children. You must have known that. Some biscuit and milk. Mopsy biscuit, something. Some other biscuit, and milk they used to give. Well, they had a list from the class. And these children will go for this biscuit and milk. Well, I never used to get any biscuit. So the neighbor's girl, she used to get biscuit. So I told the neighbor's girl, when you get the biscuit, I think they used to get 4 biscuits. I don't know how many biscuits. 4 biscuits. When you get the biscuit, you please keep one for me. So the neighbor's girl said, yes, I'll keep a biscuit for you. So lunchtime now, I said, where is the biscuit? She said, I was keeping that biscuit and another little boy beat me up and take away the biscuit. I said, what? Show me that little boy. Then she took me around the school 2-3 round fight looking for that boy. I don't know how many rounds. Then suddenly, this is the boy. Well, I gave him a good beating. I gave that boy a good beating. Then that boy, after receiving that beating, He came back the next day and he very nicely spoke to me. He said, I'm telling you the truth. I don't know this girl. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking. And you know, it was verified that bad boy never took that biscuit from that girl. No, what karma, all I had to pay for all of these things. See, and what karma that fellow did also. Now his karma has come to me. But this is this birth from small childhood, you know. And no, children also are not exempted from karma. Children are suffering most over this globe right now. Karma does not spare anybody. From that now, Munna, and then all sorts of diseases he gets also, one after the next. Air pain, belly pain, headache, toothache. Tight tooth in the door and slam the door. How much problem? And I have go through all that again. When he reached 11, 12, I gone to some other school. Teacher given him homework, he wanted to do homework. Somehow, by God's grace, I don't know how he reached 15, 16 and all that sort of thing. Then all sort of trouble for mother, father, this, that, growing, what they call growing pains. Growing pains. Now he reached high school and all, he doesn't know which subject to take. By dint of providence, only end up in something. And get married. Then get few munna, well, things start again now. If it survives. What high percentage of divorce and all, not working, married, not working, all sort of one trouble after the next. And disease from birth till death. Disease from birth to death. Janma, mrityu, jara, dukkha, vyadhi. So all is, it will be given later on in Geeta only. So even from an ordinary standpoint, who wants to go through this whole thing again? It's just people who don't think only will want to go through this again. So the one who comes to me, Bhagavan says, he will not go through again. Now, I will stop there because the topic, another topic comes up, you know. Sahasra yuga pariyantam Aryat Brahmano Viduhu, means the next verse is talking about time and the length of time. How long does this world stay and all of that? And what exactly is Hindu cosmology is given from there. Hindu cosmology, the cosmos and all that. That we'll see tomorrow. Let me tell you a few announcements and then we will have Aarti. Okay, from the 7th to the 11th of May, we have Swami Shantananji who is visiting us here from New Jersey. Swamiji is our most senior Swami in the West from Chinmaya Mission. So he'll be here from the 7th to 11th of May at the ashram. He'll be doing chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita. Our school Yajna comes off every year. So this year the school Yajna is 5 nights. Swamiji will be doing. Okay. As soon as Swamiji leaves, Swami Raghavananji will be coming also from Bhopal, India. Swamiji will be here for a whole month perhaps. Then on May 27, our Ganga Thara festival, Ganga Dashara, Ganga Thara in Blanchisseuse. This is the most important and most famous Tirat in Trinidad, where people go up to Blanchisseuse in the Ganga Thara river, and there we have a whole string of activities going on. Worship. Tirat. Tirat means, in Sanskrit is tirtha. Tirtha. Tirtha comes from a Sanskrit root thru. Thru means to cross over. So to cross over what? When we go in such holy places, the tradition has it that from that holy place, a channel is opened up to cross from this dimension into the higher dimension. A channel opens up in those holy places. So that's how the Tirat or Tirtha word comes, to cross over. So one can, if one has the right frame of mind, right bhav and all, one can easily cross into the other realm in such holy places. But you see, of course, one has to prepare one's mind. But those are the places where such crossing is. And we lost Tiratha. That's why we are working so hard to ensure that this thing comes back. This year, the Gangadhara Tirath is 25 years. And means the ancestors used to go there, but the festival itself, which only started about 25 years ago. So you're in for a special this year. Please come, get your maxis and taxis and all that, and pull together your groups from your villages and towns and families and all that. Please come and see this festival. It's a grand thing. You'd never know that such a thing goes on. Okay, 27th of May. 3 days after that, at the ashram, we have our annual tea party. And this year we have the drawing of the 3-car raffle. Brand new Toyota Corolla, first prize. Second prize is a Mazda 3. And third prize is a Tida, Nissan Tida. Those last two are roll on, roll off. First prize, Toyota Corolla, brand new. All the cars are already there, already purchased and ready for going. May 30th. Tickets are available here. You can see Vindra on stage. She has tickets. Then July 23rd to August 27th, we have our summer classes in Hinduism. At the ashram, we have classes for children during the summertime. During the holidays, we have classes for children. Please encourage others, and you also send your children and grandchildren. It is open to ages 8 to 18. 8 to 18. They have to come, bring them every day. This is a whole month, more than a month. Bring them every day at 8 o'clock in the morning and pick them up at 4 o'clock. Otherwise, in holidays, when you leave your children running around, they engage in all sorts of unnecessary things. And today, the laziness which is encouraged by computers and handheld devices and all is just phenomenal. They don't get any exercise. Children are supposed to be running about and doing things, not sit down in front of computers and all things all day. So there'll be Vedanta, Sanskrit, Vedic chanting, creative arts. Weekly there'll be a field trip also for them. And then they have opportunity to run and play and all such things. On 27th of July, we have a fundraising concert at the ashram. We have a world-renowned flutist by the name of Pandit Ronu Majumdar. He's coming to play flute for us. He's a recipient of President Medal in India and nominee of Grammy Award, and all. He plays for all the film industry in Bollywood and all. Very, very famous and well-known. Pandit Ronu Majumdar. So, please, it is written here that he played in that 1942 love story movie. Wow. All right, so Pandit Majumdar is coming on 27th of July. In August, Swami Mitrananji is coming from Chennai, India. And on August 31st, we have the annual food fair. So Amiji will be here around 12th, I think, if I'm not mistaken, of August. We'll give the date at a later time. And in March next year, we have our India trip. Well, we look like we're in some trouble. Because I used to take 50, and then it was unmanageable. And then now I am only taking 25. But it looked like I might have to take 50 this time again, because the numbers have just... People are... Unless I tell no. Let me see. This time maybe I could get some help from those veterans who have gone already. The veterans who have gone to India on that trip already. So the India trip is in March next year. March 6th we are leaving here, the day after Shivaratri. We have our yatra. We'll be walking from Blanchisseuse to the temple in the sea. And the next day we are leaving for India. And the cost is 7,000 US. And this includes flight from here to India, all internal flights inside of India, all train, bus, hotel, plus flight from India, Calcutta to Bangkok, Thailand, and back to Trinidad. We are also going to Thailand. That includes all transport in Thailand and hotel and everything in Thailand also. The cost is 7,000. And since we have crossed the 25 long past, might as well work for the next 25 now to see. All right, those who are interested, you have to call up the office and give your name. By the end of May, we will require a little down payment also for the trip. Okay, I think I got all the announcements. There are many more things going on in the ashram, and many more yajnas and things happening. But these are the ones that are coming up that require attention. अच्छा ठीक है आरती के लिए इसका परिचय